Welcome back. Well, the U.S. men's team might be out of the World Cup running, but that doesn't mean the tournament is over. It's far from that.
Far from it, Julian. Still plenty of matches to watch with some major teams, by the way, prepping to go all the way. Our soccer expert, Willie P., joining us this morning. It's you. Today's match, Spain and the team that took us out of the World Cup. We're talking Belgium.
We don't like to talk about Belgium.
I know. They're over our shoulder. They're right over there. Yeah. All right, so let's just start with this. Before we go look at all the rest of the matches, let's start with Spain. Let's talk Belgium right there. I think some people might be split because you got this young kid over your shoulder, number 19 over there, Yamal, who's only 18 years old. Mm-hmm. But then some people may look at Belgium and go, hey, they beat us. Maybe we want them to go all the way because it has something to do with U.S., sort of.
Definitely a mismatch of age and also youth when it comes to what Spain has. Spain's kind of been on the come, whereas Belgium have been there and done that before. While they've not necessarily won it with this group, they have a lot of seasoned experience, and we saw that in the game against the United States on Monday night. Although I found it interesting that Rudy Garcia in that game employed a lot of that youth from the start and brought the experienced guys like De Bruyne, Romelu Lukaku off the bench. So I'm interested to see how tactically they want to go about it. Do they go with the big guys from the start, or do they employ that same strategy against a very, very tough Spain team? And Spain, as we know, one of the best defensive teams, the best defensive team in the tournament. They've yet to allow a goal in the entire tournament, the longest goalless stretch of any team in the history of the World Cup by minutes and games. So it is one of those things where you look at them and you say, can anybody score on them? Belgium's going to have to be very, very clinical and tactical. And they used some guys who were not necessarily household names against the United States. We'll see if they can prevail against Spain.
I'm interested to see if it was disrespect on how they set their lineup against us, resting for Spain, or if it's more tactical. I guess we'll find that out in a little bit. I want to ask you about this Argentina team because I don't know what to make of them.
Fortunate? Can you call them fortunate?
That is one way to put it, Willie. Are they as good as some people might think? Have they gotten just fortunate right now? What do you make of them and their chances to repeat?
I don't know if they're as good as the team that won the World Cup 4 years ago, but that's not to say that they're not good. And I honestly think, too, Lionel Messi has been fueled by a lot of this chatter about him playing in his last World Cup or, being older or whatever. It seems like he's found another gear with this team. He's still got a lot of great guys around him, whether it's Martinez, whether it's Rodrigo de Paul, who we see as his teammate in Miami, and they're also incredibly stout at the back. Christian Romero, who's a captain for Spurs, also a scoring threat on set pieces. They are incredibly, incredibly sound. I just feel like if you're looking at a team that's still a favorite, I still have to go with France because I think Argentina has, like I said before, received a little bit of fortune. Anybody who watched that game against Egypt will know that, let's just say, there were some questionable decisions and interventions on VAR when it took into that game. I'm not going to call it rigged.
Right.
But I am going to say that was fortunate for them. Okay. And they needed to score 3 goals to give them credit and give them their flowers.
Right.
They did have to come back from a 2-0 deficit and score 3 goals.
That's true.
But they were fortunate.
Okay, so with the USL, everyone's kind of looking for this next team. Who do we root for in these following games? So you just mentioned if you're looking for a revenge story, it's France. If you're looking for younger future stars, it's Spain. If you're tired, if you like Messi, clearly Argentina.
Right.
If you're tired of Messi, maybe it's Switzerland. I don't know. What if you got Haaland fever?
That was gonna be my pick. I think Erling Haaland is doing something that we've not seen in World Cups typically because a lot of these teams who have singular dependent stars usually get sought out and get found out and get snuffed out of the World Cup because so many teams, when you get to this level, you've got teams that have won World Cups, you've got teams that are built and stacked from top to bottom, defense, midfield, and the front four. And it's very, very hard for somebody to stand out in the level that Erling Haaland is doing right now. And he's just doing this. He's carried this team on his back. It's not that Norway doesn't have good players, but as Haaland goes, Norway goes. So it's one of those things where the matchup on Saturday with England is incredibly fascinating because I think England, before the Mexico game, had really not played its best soccer. I heard Ashley Westwood on our air yesterday say that the performance against Mexico in Estadio Azteca was the best he's ever seen England play, and he ain't young. So that's one of those things. That's a little bit of a shot for you, Westy. I heard what you said about me on the air yesterday about goalie wars. So what I'll say is this is an England team that's playing about as well as they've played since they won the Cup back in the 60s. Could it be coming home? Fantastic clash between those two this weekend.
Okay, I mean, right now, I think Jason and I were talking about it. The Final Four, I think we get an England and Argentina matchup in Atlanta, and then the quest between Spain and France. And then it's tough to say no to Spain, But I mean, France, as you said, is the favorite. Is that the matchup you have? Is it going to be France-England?
I think
New
it's.
York.
I think it's going to be France-Argentina.
Argentina.
Oh, another rematch.
I think it's going to be France-Argentina
Four
again.
years ago.
Okay.
It's going to be. I'm going to be boring about it because I think again, Messi is a wagon, France is a wagon. They're on a collision course. I don't know if England have enough to stop the firepower of Argentina if they end up mating in the semifinal. And I also still think, Holland will have something to say about it as well when it comes to Norway versus England. So I don't really give Switzerland a puncher's chance against Argentina, although they've been doubted before.
Right.
The Swiss are very neutral. In practice
so.
and in game. So who knows? They might try to muck it up a little bit against Argentina and play very negative football. Who knows? But I don't know if that style necessarily meshes well with what the Argentines do. But I see a France-Argentina final again.
What we can all agree on is what this has done for soccer in America
my goodness.
Oh, yes.
over the last month or so is just phenomenal. Can't wait to keep riding those waves.
It's done great things for soccer, and it's done great things for our country, too, because
it really has.
the tourism part, too, has also been a really big thing, and I think people have really latched on to America, which is it's a great moment for our country.
I let you heard Holland say. Holland says, I like Americans.
Right.
They're funny. I like them.
Well, as the World Cup, Willie, thank you. As the World Cup continues over the next several weeks, and this is what we're talking about. Soccer fans can watch the Stars play right here on Queen City News, but that means those games will be happening instead of our newscast. Take out your cell phone, you scan that QR code around the screen to stay up to date with the World Cup schedule and when we'll be live on air. The QR code will take you to a story right there on our website, qcnews.com.
Queen City News Plus. Just search Queen City News on your smart TV's app store.